All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday night edition of Beyond the Court. This is episode 41. I'm Sudsy. That's our co-host Leo Vasquez representing Jerry Hall and Mars Real. I like it. Leo, I see the Cowboys over the back of your shoulder. That was an unbelievable game, but the GOAT did it. The GOAT did it.